I'm Chris Mills with Surf Strength Coach. I'm going to do a food rant. There is so much misinformation and just nonsense and, quite frankly, bullshit in the health field and the nutrition field. I'm going to give you some foundations that will immediately improve performance, overall wellness, your nutrition. So, modern life, modern living, food technology, privileged, westernized modern worlds, we eat largely a lot of bullshit. Chemicals, preservatives, nutritional flavorings, artificial colors, foods that the human body, physiology, the organism are not designed to utilize. And so all these chemicals we come across just in modern living, but we're also consuming, they help promote and probably exacerbate a lot of underlying issues. So, real food. There's so much confusion and nonsense in nutrition. There are thousands of diet books. Clearly, something is amok. Nobody's really gotten it quite right. It's got to start with these foundations. It all comes down to individuality. What works for me might not work for you, hence all these thousands of books. I am a unique butterfly. You are a unique butterfly. We have different genetic dispositions, different lines of heritage. We've had different illnesses, different digestive capabilities, different exercise or athletic outputs. So what works for you might be different from me. So people that align themselves with certain food gurus or nutritional ideologies, I'm paleo, I'm vegetarian, and it becomes part of their social identity. It's bullshit, it's weird, it's part of this modern, privileged, westernized food world. It irritates the hell out of me. So, individuality, paleo might work for somebody, high protein diet might work for somebody else, low carbohydrate might work for someone else. You got to figure out what works for you, and in order to do that, you need to get in touch with how food reacts with your body. So you've got to stop eating garbage all the time so you're aware and capable of feeling and understanding the different sensations that food might give you, or meals. Real food, protein, carbohydrate, fat. Think of this individuality. Eskimos, they evolved eating a diet primarily of protein and fat from salmon, very little carbohydrate, whereas other tribes, indigenous cultures, higher carbohydrate roots like tubers, potatoes, yucca, things of that nature, less protein and fat, but still did consume protein and fat when it was available. And then, paleo says no dairy. Well, there's Maasai tribes that consisted of, their diet was like 60 to 70% cow milk, and they thrived. Not to harp on paleo, but paleo is also anti-grain. I think a lot of people do very well cutting grains out of their diet, at least for a period of time. But there are cultures, I believe in the Swiss Alps, whose diet was primarily high-quality oats. So again, look back at cultural traditions of food evolution. There's so much variety. So don't align yourself with some silly guru or ideology and write about it on Facebook. It's irritating. Each meal should consist of protein, carbohydrate, and fat. We'll start with protein. Vegetarian and veganism, you guys are probably going to hate on me now. I think it's very difficult for the human organism to thrive on a vegetarian or vegan diet. We've evolved to require certain minerals and nutrients that are just much more easily acquired from animal proteins. Sorry, bottom line. Vegetarianism and veganism, I think, can be very cleansing at times, but it's very difficult for that to be repairing or rebuilding. It's just deficient in certain trace minerals and nutrients that are more easily acquired through animal proteins. So, protein, you've got to get it from animal sources. Source the highest quality animal protein you can come across. Go to a farmer's market, meet the farmers, grass-fed beef, pastured lamb, good quality eggs, good quality chickens. Commercial farming is gross. It's gnarly the way those animals are treated. And also a lot of those chemicals, antibiotics, and hormones that are given to these commercially farmed animals, you then consume, again, just putting more chemical toxic load into your body. So the cleanest animal protein sources you can get. Fats. Saturated fats. You cannot be afraid of saturated fats. They are critical to the human organism. Again, we evolved consuming saturated fats. They are an underlying precursor to a lot of hormonal systems. Just like animal protein, your saturated fat, it all depends on quality, okay? The average American or average westernized person eats way too much polyunsaturated vegetables in the form of vegetable oils like canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil. Those things are basically toxic. You're consuming free radicals, they're heavily processed, they're very unstable, especially with cooking. They're gross. Don't eat them. I don't allow my mom to eat them. That's usually what I tell clients. I don't let my mom do this. That's how strongly I feel about it. You got to get on saturated fat. Consume saturated fat in the context of the rest of a quality diet. Good quality butter, ghee, grass-fed butter from happy, healthy cows. Coconut oil is a good one. Olive oil, I don't like to cook with it because it's not very heat stable, but I do use it for salad dressings. Some of the nut oils, macadamia oil, avocado is a good source of fat. So we've gone through protein and fats. These vary from person to person. Some people do better on less fat, some people do better on more fat. Same with protein. Now we get into carbohydrate. So there's this big low carbohydrate craze. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was the low fat craze. Now it's this low carb craze. If there's a diet craze, it's bullshit. Like gluten currently, gluten is hugely relevant for a lot of people. I try to stay away from gluten as much as possible because of some of my personal, individual, unique butterfly underlying health issues. But gluten has become a fad, but it is important for some people. Carbs. There are different types of carbs in this context. Vegetables, eat as many vegetables as you want, all the time, as many different colors as possible. Try to source local, organically, seasonal vegetables. Eat them all. Devour the hell out of vegetables. And then we look at carbs, and people think carbs equal sugar. Sugar is an essential nutrient for cellular fuel. Okay? The human body absolutely utilizes sugar. When people go super, super low carb, for some people it works. For a lot of people long term, it ends up damaging various systems, hormonal systems and energy systems. So carbohydrate, sugar, which is fructose, glucose, galactose, lactose, all sorts of things. Fruits and starches as well are in carbs. Starches are like potatoes. Those have a higher sugar content, as do fruits. Both of them are absolutely nutritious foods. Some people can't digest starches well. Other people can. Some people, because of fructose malabsorption issues, can't break down fruit very well. Other people can. Fruits, starches, vegetables, eat them. But it also matters in the context of the rest of the diet. Some people can do higher volumes of carbohydrate. Other people need higher volumes of protein and fat. You need to cut out all the shit from your diet, focus on real food so you can start getting an idea of which type of diet composition suits you best. Carbohydrates, we also think of grains. The average person eats far too many processed grains, shitty white breads, chips, processed and refined flours to make pastries. It's very nutrient poor. It's also refined. The grains we eat currently today are far different from the grains that humans kind of evolved consuming. It also, really low quality grains. There is the gluten issue. It can degrade the health of the intestinal system, which can lead to a lot of immune issues and other inflammatory issues. If people cut grains out for a bit, they can then focus on more nutrient-dense foods. It also helps to downgrade inflammatory systems, let the gut kind of heal and repair. Those are the big basics. Focus on protein, animal sources, fats, quality carbohydrate. Lots of vegetables, throw in some fruit and some starches. Fruit and starches are a bit more dependent on how your body can tolerate carbohydrate. Can you break it down, or glucose? Can you break it down well? Are you exercising enough and active enough to where you need to utilize more easily converted forms of sugar, essentially? Not that sugar is bad. That's a new thing, anti-sugar everything. It's all dependent upon the context of the diet, the issues you have personally going on. So clean up your food, stop eating garbage, drink more water, sleep more, start moving your body, and focus on real food. That is it. That's the rant for today. Food, real food, protein, carb, fat, figure out which ratios work best for you. Eat real food. Don't spout some silly guru bullshit on Facebook. Oh, you can't eat this, don't eat that. Food exclusion. Paleo excludes a lot of legumes, beans, dairy. That's great for some people. I follow a largely paleo-esque diet, but I do a fair amount of carbohydrate. Not everybody needs to exclude. And so all this nutritional counting calories, food restriction, detoxes, cleanses, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. None of that shit needs to even be dealt with until you are eating primarily real food. Until you're eating mostly high quality, whole source food, you don't need to deal with any of the other nutritional nonsense because it's not relevant. Until you are doing this, then you can get the ball rolling into other things. But these basics will help your performance, increase energy in the water, overall health and well-being. Real food, simple, do it, stop eating shit. Surfstrengthcoach.com. Peace.